Hi, it's Tom from Tom's Landscaping. We're just going to go through a basic understanding of starting engines for a lot of the machines. This is a really good guide to sort of figure out what's wrong with the machine if it's not completely starting up, as well as giving you a little bit of a checklist on what to check. So first thing you want to check on all of your machines is that you've got enough fuel. I know it's pretty basic and quite easy to remember, however, it's happened a lot of times where even me, I've tried to start machines and wondered why it's not working, and then it just is out of fuel. The next thing is we got to make sure that the fuel hasn't flooded. So if you have used the priming bulb too many times, what can happen is that it can be an overflow of fuel that's going into the engine. And basically it's not able to evaporate or use up that fuel quickly enough to get started. There are two main symbols when it comes to engine starting. They should look something like this. Now, they will be on your whippersnips, on your edges, and even sometimes on the mowers. What you have here is two symbols that are used to basically, simply put, show you how the direction of fuel is going into the machine. So here you have, this symbol means that you've got a choke put in. This one essentially means that you've got the fuel free flowing throughout the machine. If you're finding that the machine may be clogged up completely with fuel, what you have to do is switch the switch on your machine to the free flowing and also hold down the trigger for a couple minutes just to allow that extra fuel to evaporate. Once you think the fuel has evaporated, keep it at this open side and try and start it with the pull cord. However, if that doesn't work after that, try it on a choked out start and take it from there. If you're starting up a machine that hasn't been used for a couple of days, we've got to start it with the choke symbol, start it a couple times with the pull cord, see how that goes. If you're getting a couple revs and then it's turning off, that means that it's been successful, and then you have to turn over to the full choke. If you are finding that when you go to the full flow switch, that it's starting up for a little bit but then completely cutting out, what this can mean is that it just needs sort of a bit more time to get used to how the engine's flowing and starting up again. A lot of the time this can be quite common in the hedge trimmers, as they're not quite as reliable as the whippersnip, and of course because we're not using them every single day. Best thing to do in this situation is, once it is starting by itself on the full flow and you've pulled the pull cord, the machine is starting up, the engine is starting up, slowly pull down on the throttle to increase the speed of the machine and just gently try and get it used to those high revs. Don't go full out because you'll just flood the engine and then it'll just cut out completely. I hope that this can help with some of those tricky situations where you're not 100% sure with what's going on with engines, but best thing to do is just keep trying. Worst comes to worst, always contact us if something isn't working.